Welcome to this video. In this video I will talk about B12 deficiency. Okay, so first of all, what is the source of B12? If we talk about the source of the B12, it is mostly from meat, fish, okay, and dairy products. So the patient who only eat vegetables may experience B12 deficiencies. Okay, so this B12 deficiency is mostly seen in vegetarians. So now let's get started with B12 deficiency. So first of all, what causes B12 deficiency? It occurs because of dietary deficiency. Okay, first is dietary, because of decreased intake or no intake at all. Then gastric factors. I will explain you this in detail. Just first you see the causes in general. Then pernicious anemia. Okay, small bowel factors and hypogammaglobulinemia. Okay, so first let's see the pathway of B12 absorption. When you take B12, it will enter the stomach, and from the mouth, that is in the saliva, heptocorrin named protein is released, which will also enter the stomach. With the help of HCl, this both will bind. Okay, and also intrinsic factor is released from the stomach. Okay, parietal cells releases intrinsic factors. Now this will enter the small intestine. In the small intestine, pancreatic enzymes will be released. This pancreatic enzyme will separate this B12 from heptocorrin. Now, in the presence of this pancreatic enzyme, B12 and intrinsic factor will be bound. Now this will enter the ileum. Okay, mostly the terminal ileum has maximum receptors for B12 absorption. So now, with the help of intrinsic factor, this intrinsic factor will bind with this receptor, and from the ileum this will enter the blood. In the blood it will be bound with transcobalamin, and in this way it will enter the liver, then will be stored here, and extra amount will be released to the kidney. From the kidney it will be released via urine. So this is the pathway. So now how to remember the causes? It will be easy if you know the pathway. First, when there is no dietary source, that means dietary deficiency. Okay, when the patient has some stomach illness, for example achlorhydria or hypochlorhydria. So let's take the example. If the patient is taking PPIs, okay, then HCl amount will be less in those patients, so they may experience B12 deficiency in long run. Okay, then if we know that intrinsic factor is released from the parietal cells. If there are antibodies against parietal cells, which is known as pernicious anemia, then also deficiency will occur. Okay, this is a type of autoimmune disorder which is seen in females. So first we discuss dietary, then we discuss stomach. Now we will come to pancreas. If there is a pancreatic insufficiency, okay, then pancreatic enzymes won't be released, and this will also sufficiency. Insufficiency, okay, like in chronic pancreatitis. This will cause B12 deficiency because it won't be able to bind with the intrinsic factor. Then small bowel surgeries, okay, small bowel surgeries. Then illness related to ileum like TB. TB mostly affects the ileum, ileocecal region mostly. So there can be B12 deficiency. Okay, there can be B12 deficiency. Then in Crohn's disease, which affects the small intestine as well as large intestine. So in this way, you need to remember the causes. Okay, there can be deficiency if there is a liver issues. Okay, and there may be deficiency with kidney issues, but with this it is less. Okay, so just remember this part, that dietary deficiencies, stomach issues, bowel issues, pancreatic issues. Okay, and also if there is a hypogammaglobulinemia, what happens in hypogammaglobulinemia is globulins decrease, there will be bacterial overgrowth, bacteria will increase in the gut. What this bacteria will do is they will take up all the B12. Okay, so yeah, remember this. So we are done with causes. Now what are the symptoms? Symptoms will be that of anemia. Okay, so patient will experience fatigue, concentration issues, and with this there is a special type of symptoms, that is glove and stocking paresthesia. Then subacute combined degeneration. This can cause dementia, optic atrophy, okay, and autonomic neuropathy. So how the patient will come to you? Take example, female, 30 years old, purely vegetarian, comes with a complaint of fatigue and tingling and numbness in her legs. So this points towards B12 deficiency, okay, which we can confirm with further test. So what are the tests required? You need to do CBC, peripheral smear, then serum B12 levels. Okay, so first we'll talk about CBC. What will happen to hemoglobin? Globin will be low, MCV will be raised, RBC count will be low or normal, reticulocyte count will be decreased, okay, leukocyte, that is WBC, will be decreased or normal, platelet decrease or normal, bone marrow will show megaloblastic cells. Why megaloblastic cells, that I will tell you. Okay, then LDH often elevated. Okay, first let's talk about this pathology slide. What will be seen in peripheral smear is hypersegmented neutrophils, then macroovelocytes, you can see this oval RBCs, and teardrop RBCs. Okay, now during erythropoiesis we know that from normoblast to RBC. Okay, what happens in B12 deficiency, that nuclear maturation is affected. Okay, so the normocyte is of this size and RBC is of this size, but due to affected nuclear maturation, the cell will not be able to mature, and because of that erythroblast will be released into the blood, and because of this big size RBC is seen in the peripheral blood. Okay. So how you will treat this patient? Okay, their serum B12 level will also be decreased. How you will treat this patient? By giving B12 IM.